This is the studio mic that fits in your pocket. DJI threw a big punch with the 32-bit float audio recording, and that's just to start their knockout combo. 8 GB of internal storage, 250-meter transmission distance, intelligent noise cancelling, and an 18-hour battery life. But those are just the advertised specs. In this video, I want to give you guys my honest review of this microphone system and run through how it actually works to see if it's the best fit for you. So let's get started with what you get right out of the box. When you first unbox this microphone system, it comes in this nice squishy protective case. Open that up and you'll find a few things organized in their different compartments. You have the necessary cables, the dead cats to reduce wind noise, and the microphone system case itself. This case is sturdy and has a nice feel to it. You get a locking clip on the front to keep the lid closed so you won't have to worry about all the stuff falling out of the case if you tip it upside down. And when you open the case, you'll see the 2 transmitters and 1 receiver just chilling there. These turn on automatically when you open the case, and the transmitters also link to the receiver. Plus, there are 2 different dongles that you get for the receiver so you can plug it into your phone to use. Now, what about the transmitters? These transmitters look pretty cool, I guess, but I don't really know why they're reflective and see-through. It's pretty cool to be able to see the insides of these little transmitters, but it's not very helpful when it's this reflective. Aside from that, they're actually very lightweight and small. You have different mounting options with the mics, either by clip or magnet, making them very adaptable. They also have a haptic feedback feature, which is really helpful because when you start recording, it'll buzz once, and when you stop recording, it'll buzz twice. Not to mention, if you change any of the modes like voice isolation, it will also buzz to let you know that you've gone into that mode. This becomes super useful so you don't have to get scared that you haven't recorded. So let's take a look inside of these small little transmitters. My bad, I meant to say let's look at the features. I think that says join. Yeah, have you thought about joining or becoming a member on Patreon? Your support helps me create more videos for you guys just like this one. Plus, you get some pretty awesome perks to go with it. So check it out, you might like it, but let's get back to the video. Let's start with the basics. Each microphone is omnidirectional, meaning it can capture sounds from any angle around it. It has 32-bit float internal recording with a 120 decibel sound pressure level rating. Basically, you can finally adjust your audio to soften or louden it without any fuzz or distortion. So you can both whisper into the mic and yell at the top of your lungs and still get usable audio. You can also press the power button once to turn on voice isolation mode. This is being put in nearly everything nowadays. It works just as well as any of the others. Not to mention the 250-meter transmission distance. Not to mention this microphone system has great transmission through objects too. Like, I could literally be riding my longboard all the way down this road with my back turned to the camera, and you'll hear it stays connected. It might cut out every now and then, but with the internal recording feature, you won't have to worry about that. This is a pretty good microphone system, not gonna lie. It's kind of nice that you can go this far. I'm really curious how far I can go without it cutting out though. I saw on this other video that's linked in the description that you can go pretty far. And it performed way better than the Rode Video Mic 2, which is very interesting. Apart from the transmission distance, these transmitters are easy to use and have a ton of other things that they can do. They have some cool features like internal recording by pressing the button on the side of the mic, and the 32-bit float feature. You'll have to turn both these features on by swiping down on the screen of the receiver, scrolling over to the transmitter settings, and then you have to go find the backup recording and 32-bit float features to actually turn them on. Once these features are on, you'll see a 32BF on the receiver screen, and then you know you're good to go for internal recording. In this same menu, if you want a fuller sound to your audio, make sure you go and turn off the low cut feature, since DJI has it turned on automatically for some reason. You can also turn on the auto record feature to automatically begin recording as soon as you take the transmitter out of the case. You can also turn on the record stop lock feature, which will lock the record button from being pressed. You can access your storage for formatting the transmitter, and you can change the vibration and LED light indicator settings as well. There are also some really small features on these mics which are actually super nice. You have a windscreen that plugs directly into the 3.5mm jack on the microphone, the power button on the side to turn off the transmitter or turn on voice isolation mode, the indicator lights showing the different modes of green being connected to the receiver, yellow for voice isolation mode, red for internal recording or a dim red to show that the microphone is muted, and blue for Bluetooth connection. Speaking of Bluetooth, you can pair it to two different devices with the transmitters, a Bluetooth device, and the receiver itself, and toggle between them with a 3-second hold of the record button. If you want to use the Bluetooth, you'll have to press and hold the link button for 2 seconds, and then you'll get the option for Bluetooth connection. However, the Bluetooth audio is just really bad. I'd recommend plugging your receiver into your device, so that way you get better quality audio instead of this really junky Bluetooth audio. At least DJI made relinking the transmitters and receiver super easy, since all you have to do is stick all of them back into the case and they'll automatically link to each other. Then there are the little things like a USB-C port for charging, direct connection for live streams, and also access to the internal storage when plugged into a computer, which comes in handy. These microphones have some other hidden features that you will absolutely love too. Inside of the receiver, you can access the transmitter settings and change the way the transmitters record audio, which is shown in the top left corner of the receiver screen. You can record stereo audio with a left and a right channel, using both transmitters as the left and right inputs, which can lead to some creative Foley creation, help with recording to people using both microphones, or some other creative uses. It's really up to you. Then there's mono plus a safety track, MS on the receiver, where it will record a mono track from the transmitter as well as one mono track that has a lower gain on it for safety that gets stored internally. You'll also get to choose the regular mono mode, where it's one single mono track that gets recorded. Thankfully, DJI included another ease of use feature, so you no longer have to set custom gain parameters whenever you use different cameras. They included some presets for common cameras that you can select from to where the gain will be adjusted automatically based on the camera that you selected. But if you want to be old-fashioned, you can manually adjust the gain in the receiver as well by pressing down the wheel button once before scrolling to adjust the gain. Still really easy to do. While we're here, let's talk a little bit more about the receiver. I love how everything can be done through swipes or a combination of swipes and that scroll button. It's super user-friendly, especially if you're used to the DJI gimbals. One of my favorite features is actually the two different audio jacks. The orange one is the main output that you connect your cable into your camera for, so that then you can record your audio, and the second one is actually the headphone output, so that then you can monitor the audio straight from the receiver. Now, having a headphone jack in the receiver is actually very useful, since newer cameras, just like this one, don't have a headphone port for you to monitor audio. Plus, just like the microphones, this has a USB-C port so that you can plug it directly into your computer and give it software updates as necessary. Not only that, this hot shoe mount is really great since you can mount it on the camera in any direction. So even if you're in front of the camera, behind the camera, or even on the side, you can still monitor your audio levels. Then we have the rest of the settings that you can access within this receiver, like a tally light that shows around whichever device is recording. You can mute the microphones, turn on noise cancellation, change which microphone is the left or the right transmitter, change the receiver gain with a click and a spin of the dial, change the headphone volume, and even turn on a setting where the receiver will turn on and off automatically with the camera turning on and off. Lots of settings at your fingertips, literally. One other thing that's really helpful with the receiver is that it actually tells you if something is connected or disconnected, so you never have to guess anymore. That's gotta be one of my favorite things with this whole system. Speaking of my favorite features, let's tally up some of the ones that I actually love. The 32-bit float internal recording. It's incredibly useful to have inside of a microphone system so that I don't have to worry about getting the perfect audio levels every time. It's really helpful for that fast-paced content creation style. The small form factor of this overall system. I love that it's so small and lightweight, it just makes it so easy to hide, hold, and transport. The haptic feedback on the transmitters is really nice. I no longer am afraid that I'm not recording. And it kind of gives me the same vibes as AirPods when you're skipping songs or changing the sound modes. The dead cat. I love that it's super easy to put on and also take off, plus it's extremely secure when you actually have it on. The user-friendly menu system. This whole menu system can literally be learned by just spending maybe 5 minutes just swiping through all the menus to figure out where everything is. DJI has always been pretty good with their user-friendly touchscreen menus. The transmission distance is crazy. Plus, it's amazing how well it actually transmits through objects. That was honestly a pretty shocking test, especially with what I saw from another YouTube video, which is in the description below. The ability to handle wind noise by default. I was only really able to fully notice it when I was doing a research for this video, so I have put links in the description of those videos that I researched so that you guys can check them out yourself. I love all the different modes that the transmitters can actually record in. I really enjoy the look and the feel of this overall system. It's very on brand for DJI. I absolutely love that the receiver tells you when something is connected or disconnected. It really makes it easy to not worry about having any faulty cables. This system has so many positives, but there are a few drawbacks as well. I don't know why DJI would make the case of the transmitters reflective. It's cool to see the insides, but it's really not great if it's going to be shown in videos with your own lighting. Although it won't really matter if you tend to hide the microphone anyway. Why is the low cut turned on automatically? I mean, you have to go in and turn other settings on, so I don't understand why the low cut would be turned on and not like the 32-bit float or something like that. Voice isolation. I've never really liked this feature in anything that has it, but I do use it in DaVinci Resolve because I actually have control over how much it actually affects my audio. This is also related to low cut, since if you're gonna edit your audio in post anyways, it's better to have raw audio than have all of those voice isolation or low cut effects baked into your audio. The DJI Lav mic is sold separately, and it's not the cheapest. 5, and probably the biggest downside, the Bluetooth audio is absolute dog water. I mean, I honestly think I could get better Bluetooth audio from my Apple AirPods. I'm sure there will be some improvements here, but just use the receiver or the internal recording within the microphones. That'll give you the best audio. I'd highly recommend this system to anyone looking for a really good lavalier mic system. As for who I think it would fit best, I'd say anyone who's trying to get into content creation for social media. I really think this may be the best system that you'll be able to find for that. This system also fits any low budget production, on-the-fly interviews, or maybe even some spokesperson commercials. If you're on a bigger production, I mean, I'd hope you'd have a team and a better audio setup, but I wouldn't really recommend this for a bigger production since it doesn't have things like time code and other things that you might need on set. Plus, DJI promotes this as the ultimate microphone and audio recording system for creators on the move. At least they're transparent about it. If you guys want to check out this system for yourself and other great videos on this system, I left links in the description down below, as well as links to other affordable camera gear. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to tune into more videos just like this one. And if you want to see more videos just like this, consider hitting that join button to support the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and maybe even learned something from it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Oh, I did not enjoy yelling like that. My goodness gracious, man, that took way too long. Man, I'm so rusty.